This story is about Khalid ibn Walid, the greatest general and military genius after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This story is based on the history of Islam. During the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Arabia consisted of several tribes. One of the largest Arabian tribes was the Quraysh tribe, which was further divided into various sub-tribes. Among these sub-tribes, the Banu Makhzum held significant prominence, and their leader was Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira. Al-Walid was renowned for his wealth and influence within the community. One of Al-Walid's sons was Khalid ibn Walid, who later became a notable figure in Islamic history. Khalid grew up in a privileged lifestyle. After his father's passing, the Battle of Badr occurred, and his elder brother chose to join the battle. When the Muslims emerged victorious, Khalid's brother was captured and brought to Medina as a prisoner. A ransom of 4,000 dinars was set for his release, and he remained in captivity for approximately 3 weeks. During that era, since there were no formal prisons, the customary practice for handling captives was to treat them as honored guests. Khalid arrived to pay the ransom money and handed it to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for his brother's release. They both decided to spend the night outside Medina. However, when Khalid woke up, he discovered that his brother had left without informing him and had embraced Islam, traveling to Medina to join the Muslim community. Khalid was filled with a mixture of anger and curiosity. He couldn't help but wonder,
why did my brother embrace Islam after being a prisoner of war?
Therefore, during the Battle of Uhud, Khalid sought to contribute his skills at a higher level. At this point, he was approximately 25 years old. Abu Sufyan, who had become the new leader of Mecca, declared,
"We will assemble an army, the likes of which Mecca has never seen before. Who is willing to join?"
Around 3,000 non-Muslims volunteered, and among them was Khalid ibn Walid. Khalid possessed exceptional abilities in archery, horse riding, and battle tactics, earning him a formidable reputation. As a result, he was chosen as one of the 2 main leaders of the army, alongside Ikrimah, the son of Abu Jahl. The war began, and initially the Muslims had the upper hand, causing the Quraysh to retreat. However, Khalid and his unit did not hastily flee. Instead, they cautiously moved backward, keeping a watchful eye on the situation. Khalid's strategic observation led him to discover an advantageous position on a hill with an open space. Seizing this opportunity, he maneuvered his unit through that route and launched a surprise attack from a different direction. Soon, an unexpected shift occurred, and the Quraysh started gaining an advantage, inflicting damage and causing losses. Prior to the battle, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had gifted his armor to Musa ibn al-Umair. Unfortunately, the person who killed Musa mistakenly assumed it was Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, due to the armor he was wearing. As a result, rumors began to spread that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had been killed. However, Khalid, having a clear view of the battlefield, was certain that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was still alive and present. After the Battle of Uhud, Khalid's reputation and fame had significantly grown. Fueled by a mix of resentment for the events that occurred and curiosity about the Muslims' success, he continued to engage in battles. However, during the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, Khalid found himself confident of victory, yet bewildered by how Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, managed to outsmart him. This turn of events left Khalid perplexed and intrigued by the Prophet's strategic prowess. So Khalid, contemplating the matter, started considering the idea of embracing Islam. He approached his closest friend Ikrimah and shared his thoughts, saying,
Don't you think there is some truth in the message of Islam? That is why Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is achieving such remarkable success.
Ikrimah was taken aback by Khalid's words and responded,
"What? Are you considering conversion after all that we have done?"
Khalid remained silent, deep in thought. Unable to contain his concerns, Ikrimah hurriedly went to Abu Sufyan and conveyed his suspicion, saying,
"I believe Khalid might be contemplating conversion."
Abu Sufyan, feeling desperate and alarmed, summoned Khalid and directly questioned him about his potential conversion. Once again, Khalid chose to remain silent, refraining from disclosing his inner thoughts. In a moment of desperation, Abu Sufyan drew his sword, threateningly declaring,
"I'm going to kill you. I cannot allow you to convert to Islam."
Witnessing this tense encounter, Ikrimah interjected, expressing his disbelief.
"Would you really kill him for seeking to embrace Islam?"
Aware of the gravity of the situation and the danger he faced, Khalid realized he had to act swiftly. With the atmosphere highly charged, he spent the sleepless night contemplating his next move. Sensing the urgency, Khalid gathered his weapons, mounted his horse, and made a daring decision to flee from Mecca, aiming to reach Medina. On his journey, Khalid crossed paths with Ammar ibn al-As and Usman ibn Talha, both of whom shared his intention to covertly embrace Islam. The three of them joined forces and embraced the faith together. However, when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, initially assigned battle roles, he did not immediately grant Khalid positions of leadership. Instead, he sought to test Khalid's loyalty and commitment to Islam. During the Battle of Mu'tah, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, appointed 3 commanders and instructed that if the first commander were to die, the second would take command, and the same rule would apply to the 3rd commander. The battle was extremely challenging, and unfortunately, all 3 commanders were killed. When the Muslims saw Khalid, they approached him and requested him to lead the army, but he initially refused, as he had not been appointed by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. However, due to the urgent circumstances and the absence of other options, the Muslims elected him as their commander. Khalid swiftly employed his tactics and successfully saved the army from imminent destruction, despite facing a formidable Roman force. The Romans possessed advanced techniques, weapons, and armor, far surpassing what the Muslims were accustomed to. The battle did not result in a definitive victory for either side, as it was a challenging encounter for both the Romans and the Muslims. When he returned with the army, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, honored him with the title Saifullah al-Maslul, the Sword of Allah, signifying his exceptional military prowess. This marked the official beginning of the illustrious career of one of the greatest military commanders in the history of Islam. From this point onward, he led numerous conquests and participated in significant battles that have become legendary in Islamic history. After the conquest of Mecca, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, appointed him as a commander, entrusting him with important responsibilities. He played a crucial role in various military campaigns, including the attack on Taif and the Battle of Hunain, demonstrating his strategic brilliance and valor. Following the passing of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Khalid became a trusted and invaluable ally of Abu Bakr, the first caliph of Islam. Abu Bakr recognized Khalid's military acumen and relied heavily on him as his right-hand man. Abu Bakr dispatched him to lead the wars of Ridda, apostasy, which aimed to unify the early Islamic State and ensure its stability. One of the most renowned battles associated with Khalid ibn al-Walid is the Battle of Yarmouk. They were facing against the most powerful and the mightiest empire existed at the time, which was the Byzantine Empire. Although the Byzantine leaders initially underestimated the Arabian army, the Muslims proved their strength and capabilities. Through this battle and others like it, the Muslims were able to conquer the formidable Byzantine Empire. Khalid ibn al-Walid's back-to-back victories after the Battle of Yarmouk further solidified his military prowess and strategic brilliance. Under the leadership of Khalid ibn al-Walid as the commander and Umar ibn al-Khattab as the caliph, lands such as Syria, Palestine, and Jordan came under the territory of the Muslims. This expansion of Muslim territories was a testament to the exceptional leadership and military achievements of Khalid ibn al-Walid. Khalid ibn al-Walid's reputation became legendary, and some people began to attribute victory solely to his presence, considering him a lucky charm. When Umar ibn Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, became aware of this misconception, he emphasized the importance of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah, over military tactics. Umar sent a letter to the army clarifying that victory ultimately comes from Allah and not solely from Khalid's abilities. As a result, Umar demoted Khalid from his position as a commander to a regular soldier. Despite this change, the Muslims continued to achieve victories on the battlefield, further illustrating that success was ultimately granted by Allah's will and not solely dependent on any individual, including Khalid ibn al-Walid. When Khalid was on his deathbed, visitors came to see him, and he began to shed tears. He expressed his feelings, saying,
"Despite the numerous scars covering my body, I am departing from this world like a coward confined to a bed."
However, one of the visitors reassured him, saying, "You are the sword of Allah, and it is inconceivable for that sword to shatter in battle. The only way for the sword to retire is through a natural death such as this, as it is according to Allah's plan." Hearing these words, Khalid responded,
May the eyes of the cowards never sleep.
These poignant words served as Khalid ibn al-Walid's final utterance before his passing. May Allah be pleased with him.
في قيود الذنب مملوكا رقيقا بدني الشيطان